Hello everybody, welcome back to Cinema Savvy. It is myself, George, bringing a brand new review, and today I'm going to be talking about Caught Stealing, which has now been released in cinemas, directed by Darren Aronofsky, starring Austin Butler. This is a film I am quite excited to actually talk about, having seen it today, got home from my screening after work. It's been a very long day, so it was very lovely to go to the cinema. That was meant to be a double bill. I was meant to see this back to back with The Roses, but the times didn't work out. So I've seen this one. I will try and watch The Roses to get a review out for, but I actually have a very busy weekend lined up, so I don't know when I'm going to get the chance to do so. But obviously if I do, I'll put it on our social media. So if you want to find out more about videos, what else we're working on, what we're up to, there's a lot of things going on. Hit us on social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, all of them in our Linktree description below. But let's talk Caught Stealing. And I guess we should talk about my thoughts heading into this film. A film that I didn't know was going to be this film, but about a year ago, or maybe the start of this year, whenever it was, when those photos emerged of Matt Smith walking around with this insane mohawk, I was sort of sat there like, what on earth is this? I'm sold. I'm sold on seeing Matt Smith in this film, who, by the way, is officially finally announced to be in the new Star Wars film. And it's weird to be sold on a photo of something, but Matt Smith is a great actor. We've seen him in so many different things, past Doctor Who. We've had stuff like House of the Dragon. We've had loads of film, like Last Night in Soho. He is a fascinating actor who has a very interesting, I don't want to say face, that sounds really horrible for an intro, but he's this very interesting face that draws him into so many different roles and have so many different approaches. But the mohawk's just insane. And I love Austin Butler, so I'm sold on that. I will go see an Austin Butler film. I think he is like an old school Hollywood star who is in that ranking up phase as he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I was sold on this, and as I'm trying to see less film trailers now, I saw the first trailer of this film about 2-3 weeks ago, and I saw a photo of Matt Smith. I was like, oh, this is the Matt Smith Mohawk film. And then I saw it was directed by Darren Aronofsky, which also caught me off guard because I like Darren Aronofsky. Black Swan's one of my sort of favourite dramatic films, if you want to talk about, like, not Oscar season, but just in terms of, like, character. Natalie performance gives one of my favourite ever performances in the film in that. And then you've got things I love, like The Wrestler as well. So I was sort of like, okay, Aronofsky's great at doing drama, at doing character, at developing them, bringing the best out of actors with performances as well. So I was sold on this. I was like, I'm going to see this film when it comes out. Like, I do want to watch it. And I didn't realise how soon it was coming out. Coming out today, August 29th, which feels like it's come out of nowhere. I guess because we're at the end of blockbuster season, we're starting to get more dramas, even though it's got a fairly moderate budget at 40 million. I don't know where that money's come from, if I'm honest, but it was interesting and also depressing at the same time to see a New York as a period piece in 1998, because now I've realised I'm at the age where the 90s are historic films now. So that was fun. But let's really start talking about this film and my thoughts heading into it, because I went straight after work, as I mentioned. And I guess what I have to talk about is the story for this film. It follows Austin Butler's character Hank, in a crime thriller, who was an up-and-coming baseball player who had to give up due to a career-ending knee injury following a car crash, and how he is thrown into the midst of drug dealing and gangs in this. That's the nice way I think I'm going to say this. If you don't know anything about this film, go and see it. The less you know, the more entertaining and funner this is probably be, because it's got an incredible ensemble I'll speak about very shortly. I know I spoke about Matt Smith quite a lot, but I'm going to kind of have the caveat of this as Austin Butler. He is the lead in this film, and this is his film. He has given us so many great performances so early in his career. This already sits up there for some of the best ones, and to see him do a sort of crime thriller, and I don't know if there's a genre for this, and this is sort of the best thing I can recommend with this film, and if someone can please comment if they do know, there's a type of crime film or a type of film where every single thing that could go wrong does go wrong, and the film is just a catalogue of errors that end up being this ridiculous, outrageous story. And I can give you a couple of examples. Good Time by Robert Pattinson is one. That's one of the best ones. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol is the one where everything goes wrong, every gadget breaks, everything goes wrong in that film. And this is kind of up there, that the story of this film is that whatever can go wrong for Austin Butler is going to go wrong. And I love those kinds of films, and you don't get that many of them. And I just think there's something so much more interesting against them. They're not subverting expectations, as people like to point out too much. They're also not predictable, because you end up in a sense of comfort with story, with things going on. You think you might know where it's going, and then you just get a curveball out of nowhere. I find it very entertaining. And when they're well written, well directed, with great performances, it does give us a film such as this, which is kind of a fascinating part of this film, is that I didn't not know what to think of this, but I wasn't the biggest fan of Aronofsky's last film, The Whale. I know obviously it won an Oscar and stuff like that, but it just wasn't for me, that film. So it's great to see him coming back to do a bit more of a drama that is still a character piece, that has someone grappling with the issues of his younger self, that hasn't made it in the way he wanted to make it in life, to see that how he's still haunted by that years later. That's right up Aronofsky Street. And where I think this film then works so well is the characters and people that are surrounded by him. So I mentioned we've got Matt Smith playing the role of Russ, who's very prominent in the marketing. He isn't actually in the film as much as you'd expect, which is understandable, but he is the crux for the story and how it begins. We've got Yvonne, played by Zoe Kravitz, who's his partner in this film. The pair of them have great chemistry with one another. I really enjoyed seeing her on screen. I enjoyed her performance in this film, and these two just worked so well with each other. Even the scenes she has with Matt Smith, I've really enjoyed. I think she did great presence in this film. I can't say too much more than that, but I'm going to talk a bit more about the ensemble, and again, the less you know, the better this is. Some of the actors that are in this, we've got Regina King in one of the high supporting roles. We've got Vincent D'Onofrio, we've got Liv Schreiber, and again, we've got Bad Bunny cropping up. I know he was in Happy Gilmore 2 recently, who I thought he was okay in this. And there's some other great actors that do appear in this, but this film is made by the characters that you're spending time with. Some of them might come across as comedic, but actually they're like awful, horrible people. And there's certain moments where it builds up characters, it builds up ideologies, the concept of relationships or forgiveness or moving on. You think everything's settled, and then it just hits you with another truckload of drama. So the film really successfully worked in that respect for me. It worked as a film, as a drama. As I said, it's my type of film, a film where everything goes wrong. I think they nailed that. There was great fun to be had with that. There's some funny moments. There's some obviously dramatic moments. I do have a major criticism, and the criticism is a spoiler. So if you do not want to hear the spoiler, do not watch past this point, because even by saying the context of what it is, you will work it out. So I'm just going to say it now, last warning. My biggest issue with this film is that there was a horrific use of fridging on a leading actress. I was a bit not disappointed by it. I don't think it worked in story, because they built up this character so well, and then when the moment happens, whilst the film revisits it constantly across the time that follows, something about it was off for me in the way it was structured. And this isn't a film that's scared to, you could say, kill off the other characters, especially if it's going to be a thriller, it's going to be crime and have drama involved, have an ensemble cast, you expect to go through people quite often. But this one just felt a bit unorganic for me. And that's my only real criticism of this film, because the rest of it I really enjoyed. And I actually had an absolute blast watching it at the cinema. And that's why I'm not too bothered I haven't seen The Roses after, because I sort of on a high with this. I'm excited to see The Roses, but yeah, this film ticked all the boxes of what I wanted to see from a film such as this. It ticked the boxes for, I just guess, the cinema trip by itself. I really recommend this film. I think people should go out and see it at the cinema. It's not, like the best film of the year or anything in that respect, but I think it's a very good film, and it's a good crime film in an era where I don't think we get enough of those. Now, do I think this is going to have the impact at the cinema? There was about 6 people in my screening. 2 people kept getting their phones out, which was frustrating. So I don't think there'll be a huge draw to see the cinema. It doesn't benefit the cinema experience in the way of, not just, everything's better at the cinema anyway, but it doesn't have that must-see cinema factor. What this does have, and I mean this in a complimentary manner, this is the type of film that could end up on Netflix in 4 or 5 months' time. It will sit at the top of their homepage for a very long time. Everyone will see this film, everyone will be talking about this film, and it will find a new way of life online. I think it's going to be popular with people that see it, But the issue of this film is that I don't know who is going to see it. I don't think the marketing has been that good. I don't think there's been enough of it. I don't think the release date has worked in its favour. And I think it's going to struggle due to that, which is a real shame because there's a great film in here and I'm recommending it, and that's how I'm going to round up this review. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We will obviously have more reviews out. We've got a lot of things going on. We've got another wrestling video to do on Monday as well. It's getting very busy as we head towards the end of the year as we move out of summer blockbuster season. So that is myself rounding out. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.